officially going to the dark side.
Oh yeah, I can put a tab for that right off the old.
More freaking sensors.
That'll give us the ability to go a little longer and a little shorter. See if we get that big extension life going on.
How many shock sensors you putting on this thing?
Just one front, one back. Just as general travel.
What's your third shock sensor you bought?
Throttle position sensor.
It's a shock sensor.
Shocking that I'm on the throttle or not on the throttle would be.
And why are you getting rid of the TPS?
Because it's really good. I've grown to love.
How many dollars does a TPS cost you so far?
Many dollars. But good part is this is low
dollar.
So I mean, you know, the TPS so far has been high dollar and it hasn't been working out.
So the TPS is just basically a potentiometer.
100%.
And so is this.
Just like almost any sensor.
So is this. So you can take this and mount it under the dash where it's not in the way of boost and everything else. And I think the theory is the TPS is not made to work under positive pressure. You got a little bit of leakage around your throttle shafts and whatnot, it gets in the TPS and blows the TPS up. Because best we can tell, when we go to high boost, the TPS goes to shit. So, put a shock sensor under the dash, wired it up as a TPS, learned it on the Holly, and away you go. And it does actually work well and run well.
It works literally that way. And actually we were using it backwards of the way the stock sensor would work. Because the stock sensor sends more voltage back to the computer when you're on the floor. And the way I mounted the sensor was backwards of that, where it has more voltage like this and less like this. Well, when I push the gas, it closes the sensor like this, but you can just learn that on the Holly, and the Holly doesn't give a shit.
That's pretty cool.
So that's pretty sweet.
That's
honestly.
a help.
Yeah.
That's a help. And the other good one is the clutch sensor, which I'm more interested in than anything. I think we got a pretty solid clutch program by ear. And looking at our MSD data, we can see a little bit, but this way we have a magnetic pickup in the input shaft of the transmission. And actually our candlestick is already drilled to this too, so we're going to put one of these babies in, we'll feed that back to the Holly, and we'll see what that's doing. So I'm actually more interested in that than shock sensors personally, but the shock sensors will be
I might actually put the longer shock sensor in the back.
maybe something we can look at.
The front's kind of a slight challenge for a shock sensor because we have to package it, and we need a decent amount of stroke and a fairly short body. So,
Well, what are you gonna do? Like trying to attach it up on the control arms, or what are you doing?
I'll probably attach it to a control arm, yes, and then I'll build a tab.
Well, yeah, obviously you can't you can't attach it to both because that isn't gonna do any good.
So I mean, the highest that's ever gonna get is probably about there. The lowest that's ever gonna get, you know, probably end up somewhere around there. But I am slightly concerned with. But if I mount it in here, in at this point, also, I mean, we're gonna have to just realize obviously the wheel's gonna move more than the sensor is, right?
Yeah, well, it's just a reference.
It's a reference, exactly. So our
I mean,
reference.
you could put that in there on an angle and move it toward, like, mount it towards the outside.
Yes.
If you have stroke enough, it might not be a bad idea.
Yes, and do something like. Yeah, it goes up and it goes.
All I got's an arm.
Swivels.
Here,
Yes. No, we can do that for sure.
that would tell you more or less what you're, if you get enough stroke on that sensor.
Yeah, I think this sensor should have a stroke. But there's nothing stopping me from building a little bracket there, or welding a nut to the frame, and putting a bolt out here and just doing.
You could make a little hanger off of this control arm or soy bar mount.
Yep. It's also.
And then you go right up. You got that old brake pipe.
Only one problem is that's a little.
No, but you can just use that. Like,
yeah, I actually could go right down through that. Speaking of,
you could just weld an eyelet up there or something. And you're gonna get one on here, and you're gonna want two because you're gonna want to see what both sides are doing.
well, I might, but I figure for right now, it's just a very good. It's a very good way of just seeing basic data.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't think we need to get crazy fancy with anything here.
No.
Like, I mean, I think this is more than going to tell us.
It's a lot of data for a 57 Chevy.
Like, I mean, I feel just this is going to tell us a lot about the car that we didn't know before.
Yeah.
What do you want, you darn dog?
This would be interesting.
This dog's being an absolute pain.
Yeah, well, they're just sluts anyway.
Oh, yes, you want attention. No,
All they want is attention. And Mag still smells skunky worse when it rains.
Yeah, I'm sure she does. Because she even wanted attention from a skunk, eh?
Yeah. She probably wanted to eat a skunk. As lovely as she is, she's a little dangerous when it comes to
Yeah,
critters.
when it comes to other animals, she's a little.
Yeah, well, I think that'd be interesting.
Oh my God, she does sound like a skunk.
Yes, I'm curious to see what this does, or how, you know, just like not what it does.
What data we get from it? Yeah.
What data we get from it, and if we can actually use it.
Yeah.
You know, if it applies to anything that actually works for us. I guess if we're smart enough to figure it out, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah, if we use the data in an appropriate manner.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the one under the dash is the best one.
I do too. I think honestly, just with the speed sensor for the clutch and replacing the TPS with a travel sensor.
With the TPS, it doesn't die on us constantly. I think that's going to be a big help.
I feel like that'll just, you know, actually maybe make the car continue to run, you know, would be very positive.
When it heads out to win a race and it dies,
yeah,
because the TPS takes a shit.
That's, when you're bringing someone to Gapplebee's and all of a sudden it just
says goodbye.
Yeah. When it does that Windows XP shutting down sound when you're halfway down, like you're just like, oh.
Briefcase tacos.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And we need some rotors before spring because these are getting a little tired.
Well, as you can tell by the bluish gold color of them. Yeah.
And a new parachute.
Definitely.
Because when the rear end came out of the car, the old parachute kind of suffered.
Kind of drugged the cord on the ground.
It was looking kind of doggy anyway, but this is not going to be a safety item.
You mean it's not safe to have your parachute cord halfway dragged off the car?
I'm thinking if you want to see the parachute flying through the air doing nothing, it'd be a fun show, but that's all you're going to get out of that. That's not
I feel like it might stop it once or twice before it lets go.
It might, but it might not too.
Yeah.
Depends how hard that hits. I mean, this one, it's not too far from having that, like, you got about a single ply left.
Yeah.
That's in there.
I think this is my favorite purchase with all these sensors too, because we actually have fittings to do all our oil drain stuff now, or catch can stuff.
Yeah,
so we're going to
custom catch can.
So we're going all the way to number 16.
Plumb that shit back to the exhaust pipe, so we put a little suction on it.
This is what I have to say to the catch can we have now.
Yeah, well, that's a Summit.
Yeah,
$9.95 catch can. So
yeah,
we kind of got what we paid for.
It was $68.97.
That was, then it was a ripoff
or
then.
something. Yeah, no, exactly.
Yes.
So no, this is definitely going to be a significant upgrade.
I think we're better off to build than buy.
So we'll build a very large catch can unit, and yeah,
The little catch can is in there.
Try and come back better.
It's about as big as nothing. You know, it'll hold a Coke bottle full of stuff.
Yeah.
Plus, we mounted it on the valve cover a little dumb, so. And I think we gotta put a smaller oil restrictor
To the top of the engine.
to the top of the engine, because I mean we're.
It like pumps top of the engine.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think. I don't think you. Well, of course, we went to that high volume pump, and we're really not supposed to on this block.
I mean,
But
I think it would be great with a smaller restrictor.
I think it'd be fine. I think it'd be
The
fine.
good part is it has a billet oil filter on it.
Yeah, because it sees 100 pounds and plus, and that'll keep it from blowing off.
At least.
Or should, anyway.
From over here. One of those System 1 deals.
Yeah, I'd be curious to take that off, take it apart, and see what she looks like in there.
Yeah.
But.
So we got to do that. We got to weld the corners of that. We got to weld all their...
There's really not a hell of a lot to do to this thing this year.
No. We'll try and do minimum stuff to it.
We need to freshen that engine up, though. I mean...
Yeah, we'll freshen that engine and try and get a spare built. Or a new main built and freshen this one as a spare.
Yeah, well, we got our new engine. Our new engine's going to be pretty cool. This thing is going to be a bad one. Shop's a mess. Is what it is. I bought this block. I'm in the middle of putting some sleeves in it because it was sleeved from a disaster before, but it had a small sleeve. I could only bore it to probably 480, whatever. So we're gonna go 4 and 125. So I'm putting a thicker sleeve in it than the ones that were in it. Just the 2 front cylinders. Everything else is virgin. This one has the big cam bore, the rollers. That'll be nice. It's also set up for a little better leak down, which will be good. And then we've got the 13-degree heads for it. And, you know, I don't know what we're going to do for cam exactly there. We've got one cam. We may order something special for what we're doing. We'll see. But this will be a nice motor.
We'll probably definitely order a custom turbo cam.
And then we'll have a complete spare. So, but this one has no oil restrictors in it at all or anything, so we got to do it all.
I thought you were showing the real race motor in the room.
Oh yeah, the real race motor, yeah.
My $200 4.8.
Yeah, to replace the one you blew up.
Yeah.
In your daily. R.I.P.
R.I.P. buddy.
Yeah, crappy LS heads.
But look how good these bearings were. Now, you don't mind the fact that it had an 1/8 inch of sludge, 1/4 inch of sludge on it.
This was the dirtiest engine I ever saw. It stunk the whole garage up.
Yeah, like you can still see a little bit of stuff there, but like look at how mint these bearings were.
I don't know how those bearings.
Those are like 200,000 kilometer bearings.
I don't know how those bearings were not more injured than this.
Me neither.
And this is like another Gen 1 with the shitty rods and everything.
Gen 3, Dad. They started at Gen 3. It's a small block.
What do you mean he started?
It's a small block Chevy, Dad.
That's an insult. You should just say something bad about my mother.
Okay, your mother would also say this is a Gen 3.
No, she wouldn't, because she doesn't know.
No, she doesn't. But if she did.
I mean, anyway, it's a little teeny ass engine going in a 3/4 ton truck. I do not see this working.
And I really don't give it all.
I think it's going to look like you threw out a boat anchor.
Yeah, but I don't really care about anything to do with this thing. Like, I don't really care if there's a little paint in here, like, or anything. Like, I mean,
I wouldn't either.
this is like Gliptol.
I wouldn't care if you put sandblasting sand in it.
No, I would. That would hurt the bearings.
Yeah. It wouldn't bother me a lick. Anyway, why do you even care? You're going to put it in there. You're going to try to run 20, 25 pounds of boost on pump
Yes,
gas,
I'm going to try.
and you're going to blow it from here to hell and gone.
But look how nice this stuff looks. I refurbished on
You did a rebuild.
Yeah.
A crown rebuild.
Well, no, I sandblasted it all first.
Lovely.
It looks nice. So, I'm going to have like a fancy look now, last motor.
Yeah, but you're still going to blow up and spread all over the pavement just like you did the last one.
No, I'm not. This is called a 4-point grate.
This is going to be a 4-point blown up all over the damn place.
No.
Just like the last one.
Yeah, this is a good one.
Wait till you tear apart the other one, we get to see the oil pan spread.
I actually am very curious. That's going to be
The oil pan's split lengthways.
Yeah.
Like, I think the whole bottom came out of that piece of crap.
I don't know. I mean, I guarantee you at least one connecting.
What did I tell you was going to happen when you tried adding boost to that?
I don't really. You said you were going to blow it up. And I didn't at 10 pounds. And
you left. 5 minutes later, you called me to come with a chain and pull you home.
Yeah.
So, was you right or was I right?
I don't know, because it only made a good pull through first gear and then it started giving up the ghost. So, I feel like if it would have just kept on keeping on, like, I mean, it was going to be good, you know.
You mean if it wouldn't have blown up, it would have been great?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Sounds like your mother.
So, I mean, you know, this is nice.
This is nice. That's a turd. That's a turd with no head bolts.
Yeah, but it's $200.
This is nice.
That is nice, actually, yeah.
You know.
But we have to take the good with the bad, okay?
This is the good, that's the bad.
I agree.
We did. We just took the good with the bad.
Yeah, I agree.
That's wasting space in the shop. This is good.
Yeah. I can't even say anything about the head bolt size because, like, at least when Ford did that, they put, you know, like on a big block, they put 9/16
Yeah,
head
the
bolts
small
in
block
it.
they didn't.
Yeah, but the small block they didn't. But at least, like, I don't know. You know, the whole 11...
The only thing I'll say better about that than the Ford is the block doesn't split in half at 500 horse.
That's true. Actually, the blocks do.
That's the only thing good I can say about that.
You just have to have some real talented cast iron.
The rest of that engine is...
No, you just got to get some real talented cast iron welding, buddy, to just give you some extra bosses here and here so you can add extra head bolts.
Yeah.
They should have had.
Yeah.
If they did that, they'd be actually, really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just,
Yeah. They're still an ugly turd. I don't care. They're just an ugly turd. Small block Chevy's a nice little engine. That's an ugly turd. I'm just saying.
I'm offended. Why does this have a... Oh, wow. You know what kind of engine this is? This is a boomer engine.
Yeah, I know, I saw that. It's probably not a good sign. I'm not sure. I think, well, we're going to deck it, so it won't be a boomer anymore.
Oh, my God.
You know?
That's funny.
We're going to load it in there. We're going to deck the boomer right off it.
But that's actually pretty funny. That's like I like that, Everybody says small block Chevys are for boomers, so I mean,
see this? 7,600 RPM.
Yeah, that's a very boomer thing to
So
write.
you're gonna. That means you have.
I can only rev.
That means you can only rev it to 7,600. So you're castrated.
Wait. Hang on.
You're gonna change it to an 8?
Yeah, I was gonna change it to an 8.
Yeah. Well, I know you. Whether you change it or not, I know where it's gonna rev to.
Yes.
What is your rev limiter set at?
8,600.
8,600. Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was worse.
No.
I thought you were 89.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. I gotta just, this is a very, orange marker, so I gotta really. Oh yeah.
8,600.
8,600 RPM.
Okay, so now it's more appropriate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ta-da!
All right. We need to put those heads on the flow bench and see what they flow to.
Yes.
I'm curious. We need to compare them to my AFRs.
Okay.
I just out of, interest.
Interest.
Yeah. All right. I'm out.